Gabriel. Just the sound of my king's voice stirred my heart. I left my post and stepped into the throne room, folded my wings before me to cover my face, and knelt before him. Yes, my Lord. You have served the kingdom well, but your greatest work lies ahead of you. Your next assignment is to carry a gift to earth. Behold. I lifted my eyes to see a necklace, a clear vial on a chain. I was about to take it when a raspy voice interrupted me. And what treasure will you send to earth this time? My back stiffened at the irreverent tone, and my stomach turned at the sudden stench. I drew my sword and turned to do battle with Lucifer. Worry not, Gabriel. He will do no harm. You are still my servant, Satan. When will you learn? Every act you have intended for evil, I have used for good. Satan began to growl, a throaty, guttural, angry growl, softly at first, then louder, until the room was filled with a roar that must have quaked the foundations of hell. But the king was not bothered. Show me, O King of Light, show me one person on earth who always does right and obeys your will. Dare you ask? You know there need only be one perfect one, only one sinless one to die for all others. I know your plans. No Messiah will come from your people. There is none who is sinless, not one. The king walked over and reached for the book of life. He turned it toward Lucifer and commanded, Come, deceiver, read the name of the one who will storm your gates. Satan rose slowly off his haunches. Like a wary wolf, he walked a wide circle around the desk until he stood before the volume and read the word, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, he muttered to himself, then spoke in a tone of disbelief. God with us? For the first time, the hooded head turned squarely toward the face of the Father. No, not even you would do that. Not even you would go so far. You don't know what it's like on earth. You don't know how dark I've made it. It's putrid, it's evil, it is mine, proclaimed the king. But what of their sin? I will bring mercy. What of their death? I will give life. Satan stood speechless. I will take away all sin. I will take away death. Without sin and without death, you have no power. Around and around in a circle Satan paced, clenching and unclenching his wiry fingers. When he finally stopped, he asked a question that even I was thinking. Why? Why would you do this? The Father's voice was deep and soft. Because I love them. The two stood facing each other. Neither spoke. The extremes of the universe were before me. God robed in light, each thread glowing. Satan canopied in evil. The very fabric of his robe seemed to crawl. Peace contrasting panic. wisdom confronting foolishness, one able to rescue, the other anxious to condemn. Never in my wildest thoughts did I think that my king would do what he did. Had he demanded Satan's departure, who would have questioned? Had he taken Satan's life, who would have grieved? But God did none of these. From his throne came an honest invitation. Will you surrender? Will you return to me? I do not know the thoughts of Satan, but I believe that for a fleeting second, that evil heart softened. The head cocked slightly, as if amazed that such an offer would be made, but then it yanked itself erect. Where will we battle? The Father sighed at the dark angel's resistance. On a hill called Calvary. If you make it that far, Satan smirked, spinning and marching out. The Father stood motionless for a moment, then turned back to the book. Opening to the final chapter, he slowly read words I had never heard. No sentences, just words, saying each, then pausing. Sun, nail, cross, blood, tomb, life. He motioned toward me, and I responded, kneeling again before him. Handing me the necklace, he explained, "This vial will contain the essence of myself, a seed to be placed in the womb of a young girl. Her name is Mary. Take it to her." "But how will I know her?" I asked. "Don't worry. You will." I could not comprehend God's plan, but my understanding was not essential. My obedience was. I lowered my head, and he draped the chain around my neck. Amazingly, the vial was no longer empty. It glowed with light. Jesus, tell her to call my son Jesus.